Hi folks, and welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me. This is a channel about the history of religion and spirituality. So if you find these subjects interesting, I hope that you will subscribe and leave me your comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section. Today I'm talking about the Second Council of Constantinople, a Christian council. But if you're interested in other religions, I hope that you'll check out my playlist for other religions. Well, this council is the fifth in the series of 7 ecumenical councils held during the formative years of the Christian religion. In them, the bishops determined the teachings that would be orthodox for the religion. During the past councils, I've been tracing a controversy that began between Cyril and Nestorius. The Nestorian teachings had been condemned as heresy. Heresy means wrong thinking, but still had supporters. And the position of Cyril, which had been found acceptable, was now undergoing different thought processes that would need to be considered. Nestorianism was condemned by the Council of Ephesus for holding that Christ's nature was equally human and divine, making it seem as though Christ was divided into two persons, a human person and a divine one. And the Orthodox did not consider that correct. It was the Orthodox teaching that Christ is one person with two natures, fully man and fully God. The Nestorian error is to ascribe excessive division between the natures. Well, through political intrigue that we've looked into and argument, each side at different times had been dominant. Between the previous councils and this one, the parties had continued to disagree, and actual schisms had taken place within the church, with different groups separating from the mainstream. This Second Council of Constantinople was held in 553 AD between May 2nd and June 5th. Eustathius, a patriarch of Constantinople, resided as president, and the Pope was Vigilius. He did not attend. However, in December of that year, he wrote 2 letters where he approved the council. There were between 151 and 168 bishops in attendance. Between 6 to 9 approximately were from Africa. They represented the western branch of the empire. There were none from Rome. The vast majority were again from the Eastern Church. The bishops were asked to review opinions of Theodore of Motsutia, Theodoret of Cyrus, and Ibis of Edessa, by which the Orthodox felt the Nestorians were trying to impose their views on the entire church. And they were also to consider the absurd assertion that heretics could not be condemned after their death. Well, in their 4th session, they condemned the writings and the person of Theodore. And in the 5th and 6th, they did the same with the writings of Theodoret and Ibis. These 3 writings were called the 3 chapters. It was the main work of the council to condemn the 3 chapters and the writers. It was also their hope to bring some reconciliation among the various factions and schisms that had occurred, but in that attempt, they were unsuccessful. Then on May 24th, the Pope intervened in the council with a writing that he and his assistants, primarily the deacon Pelagius, had prepared on the same subjects that the council had discussed. It was called the Constitutum I. The Pope refused to condemn the persons of the three great Antiochenes because they had died while they were still in communion with the Orthodox Church. He did, however, condemn 59 of the 71 propositions of Theodore that had been presented to him, and he added an additional one of his own. He refused to condemn Theodoret's views, but he did condemn 4 propositions of Nestorius. And he refused to condemn Ibas's letter, which he said had been declared orthodox at Chalcedon. When the Pope's document, when his judgment was delivered to the emperor, he refused to accept it, saying that the 3 chapters had already been condemned by the assembled council. The council responded immediately by preparing a dossier of documents designed to destroy the Pope's credibility. In them were previous letters that he had written condemning the 3 chapters and his oath to work with the emperor to bring about their condemnation. Upon examining this evidence, the emperor asked that Pope's name be erased from the diptychs of Constantinople and the churches of the world. Now, diptychs are 2-sided painted screens on hinges that are used in Eastern Orthodox churches. So apparently, these were pictorial representations of the Pope. The bishops praised the pure faith of the emperor, and they broke off communion with Vigilius personally because he had defied the universal church that was represented by this council. Later, the bishops also declared it legitimate to condemn heretics who had died in error. In the 8th and the final session, the bishops formally approved what they had accomplished, and they added 14 anathemas to it. Now, despite the conflict between the council and the Pope, and their failure to reconcile the Chalcedonians and their opponents, the council made significant theological contributions. The canons condemning the 3 chapters were preceded by 10 dogmatic canons, which defined Chalcedonian Christology with a new clarity. The 2 natures defined at Chalcedon were now clearly interpreted as 2 sets of attributes possessed by a single person, Christ God, the second person of the Trinity. And this would be the basis for later Christological studies. Well, the original Greek records of the council were lost, but an old Latin version does exist and has been translated into English. There's also a Syriac account available. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, Nestorianism was crushed within the Roman Empire, but it survived outside its frontiers. The Christian church in Persia adopted it largely as a protective political move, and Nestorianism in various forms continues today, with few adherents, but with groups being found in Iraq, India, Syria, and North and South America. Next time I'm going to move on to the Sixth Council, where the theologies of monoenergism and monothelitism will be discussed amid the Muslim siege of Constantinople. So there were only 7 original councils, so we're definitely in the home stretch now. So I want to thank you again for watching, and I hope that this video has added to your understanding of the work of the bishops in determining orthodoxy and the administration of church affairs. As always, I hope you have a safe and a healthy week, and that you can join me again next time to jump right into more of religious history. Be well. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.